This is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I am a smart mouth. How'd you think I wound up where I am, who I am by now? Just another minute till we sisters sign off. So if you're not with it, wave, bye, bye.
Now, I love modern day devices and I love data. I love stride length, ground contact time and vertical oscillation and lap times, all the good stuff. It just really gets me going. And of course, everyone's favorite, heart rate. And the gold standard of measuring heart rate has been this for many years. The chest strap, the top G of measuring heart rate. Mine's kind of sweaty though. But I think there's a new way of measuring heart rate that's just as accurate, more comfortable, and overall, much less messing around. And in this video, we're gonna put it to the test. Now, before I got injured running, I ran a lot. But before I ran a lot, I climbed a lot. Climbing was my favorite activity, and even though I sucked at it, I loved it. I love climbing so much, I even made my own climbing wall at home in my garage, see? And in 2023, there was this gradual transition period where I ran more and more and climbed less and less. And during that time, I used this thing a lot, the Garmin chest strap. Now, I mostly climbed outdoors because I found it more fun, but on this one day, I went indoors with the boys for a quick sesh. And on one of these days, I fell off the wall, which is a pretty common occurrence. But on the way down, I clipped my chest on one of the climbing holds. So long story short, I broke this rib 3 weeks before my first ever running race, which I actually uploaded as my first ever YouTube video, but don't go watch it. It's absolutely horrific. But something else that's also horrific is trying to run with a broken rib. Every time I try to take a deep breath in with this band on, that spot right there would just kill. And as you would know, trying to get valuable heart rate data from your wrist is really hard. Have a look at this 5K PR that I did. My heart rate was 193 the last couple of Ks, and I've never seen my heart rate get that high ever. So the chest heart rate was completely out of the picture, but it helped me realize that maybe the chest heart rate actually limits your performance. More on that later. And so many months later, after running to effort and pace for so long, I finally found the solution to my problem, the Coros heart rate monitor. And I lived happily ever after. The end, thanks for watching. No, but seriously, this product is an absolute banger. Not only does it give you really good heart rate data, but it also makes your bicep look so big. But don't take my word for it, because in this video, I'm gonna test out the arm versus the chest to see if they're just as accurate as each other and if there's actually any difference. But first, I'm gonna show you why the chest strap is probably slowing you down. It's whiteboard time. Breathing 101. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just gonna chuck on my glasses so that you take me seriously. So when we are running, we take a big deep breath in and many different muscles pull our ribcage upwards and outwards and our diaphragm moves downwards. Now our lungs kind of have like a vacuum seal to our ribcage. So when our ribcage rises, so do our lungs, creating a negative pressure that actually pulls air from the outside of our body to the inside. Epic. Fun fact, your ribs actually work kind of like bike brakes. When you breathe out, the caliper closes, just like this bike brake. And when you breathe in, the caliper opens so that you can get the air in to keep running really, really fast. So here's how I see it. If you have a tight strap around your ribs, at the very least, it's gonna not allow your ribs to caliper open and it's gonna make it really uncomfortable to run. And at the very worst, it's gonna limit your performance and not allow you to use your entire lung volume. Okay, so here's how I break it down. Comfort, accuracy, usability. So the wrist, pretty comfortable. Accuracy, none. Usability, pretty easy. Arm, fairly comfortable. Accuracy, really accurate. Usability, really usable. Chest, comfort, terrible. Accuracy, very accurate. Usability, pretty bad. The usability of chest heart rate really sucks because you have to wet it, put it in the right spot, make sure it's actually working. You don't even know if it's charged or not. Annoying. So let's just go test them out, hey? Yeah. Okay, yesterday we did the cycling test, 2 hours, and surprise, surprise, the chest and the arm strap were the exact same. I'll put the Strava stuff here. But we don't care about the cycling results in all honesty because we're a running channel here, aren't we? Yeah. Running test. So here's the plan. We're gonna do a 5-minute run followed by 3 or 4 1-minute repeats. So, oh shit, there's a cyclist coming. How you going? All right, I'm gonna go stash the bike in the trees near the kangaroos and then I'll get started. How you going? Can you watch my bike? One thing that's super annoying about these chest straps is you've gotta wet them, which means that in winter, you're gonna put cold water on your skin just to go for a run, and that sounds horrible.
So if you're not winning, wave bye bye. They don't even notice. They're in on the ride, a better life lifetime. You never control this. Hype me up, or you're gonna have a real bad.
Oh man, I'm so f***ing unfit at the moment. Thanks. Bro, look at all the kangaroos.
3 hours later.
It's now much later than I thought it was gonna be. I went on a bit of a side quest, but I'm home now. Let's go through the data. Okay, so I've got the Coros dashboard open here and I've got the Garmin Connect app on my phone. So I'll show you what the heart rate data looks like for those two different apps right here. And as you can see, they're the exact same. And this is exactly what I expected because the Coros armband is just so accurate. So my heart rate got up to about 153 in both of the 5-minute reps. And you can see that nice increase in heart rate at the start. And then I have the big drop, looks the exact same. I get right down to under 120 beats per minute. And then bang, right up to the 160 again, twice. It looks the exact same to me. So there you go, the heart rate is the exact same on the armband. And I'm not surprised, to be honest, it's such a good product. And unless you're some crazy triathlete that's training 20 hours a week and you need to know the exact most accurate possible heart rate for every second of every workout, then yeah, get the chest strap. But if close enough is good enough for you and that 99% accuracy is gonna be okay, which for me, it's fine, then the Coros armband's gonna be perfect. And the battery life is also great. I probably get at least 3 or 4 weeks out of this battery, and that's with me training 16 hours a week whilst I'm cross training, which considering it's like an optical heart rate sensor, it's pretty good. And the best thing about it is that if it's not flashing green when I put it on, it's flat, and I know, or my watch will tell me. If I'm using the Garmin band, I don't know if it's flat, but it can be taken apart really quickly. You just take this strap off and bang, and then you pull this part out and you just throw it in the wash. Easy done. So this thing is really good and it's definitely a purchase worth purchasing. Purchase worth purchasing, what am I saying? But there are a couple of negatives. The tan line from this thing is atrocious. And yes, I had a tan line on my left arm for like a week and I just stopped wearing it because I didn't want to have it. It's literally the worst looking tan line ever. Worse than sock, worse than thong tan line, worse than sunglasses tan line. Shocking. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as sunglasses tan line, but it's pretty bad. Also, I think a few more colors would be nice. This gray is cool, but it kind of starts to go brown after a while. A couple more colors, maybe a black or a white, or one that actually matches my Coros watch. That'd be sweet. But overall, it's accurate and it's nice to wear and it makes my bicep look a little bit bigger. So I'll give it an 8.5 bananas out of 10. Oh, I've only got 3 bananas left. Okay, well, a metaphorical 8.5 bananas out of 10. Peace.